Today I fucked up by accidentally drugging my husband. So I have severe ADHD and take Ritalin to help cope. I have to take 3 pills a day for it, and they come in tiny uncoated pills that have the tendency to stick to anything even remotely wet, so my fingers, tongue, etc. Well, my husband and I were sharing the last soda in the house when I needed to take my meds, but I was in the middle of a boss battle, so I just popped one in my mouth quick, took a sip and then handed hubby the can so he can take drink. About 20 minutes later he is just bouncing off the couch, talking a mile a minute, and when I take a good look at him his pupils are huge. I'm starting to feel zony and twitchy myself, and that's when I connected the dots. The pill stuck to my mouth, and instead of swallowing it, it must have dislodged and went into the can, and then he drank the rest of the can. He does not have any form of ADHD, so he thought he was dying and cleaned our whole place. I have never felt so bad but amused in my life. He is fine now, about 6 hours later, and I will be more responsible in the future. TL Doctor, my ADHD meds went into my drink instead of my mouth. Husband drank my drink, got drugged. I hate those pills. Isn't it possible to at least coat them a little? As a kid I wasted so many of those, since I always spit them out when they started dissolving in my mouth and sticking to my tongue. They are awful. And they taste horrible too, so when they dissolve it's like a burst of bitterness in your mouth. I call this a win. House got cleaned. I didn't have to do it myself. Exactly how intense is Ritalin for people who don't need it? What does it do when there's no ADHD? Sorry for my dumb question, I'm just curious and have never taken it myself, or had anyone close who's needed it. It's a stimulant, so it would increase heart rate and give you lots of energy. Since I have ADHD I'm not sure what else it does, but I have to go through lots of verification to get it since people sell it illegally. Your husband's going to use "you drugged me" when you guys have an argument. It's going to be the new story he tells everyone at dinner parties. If you think your wife is mean because she nags you, well, mine drugged me so I would clean the house for her. Lol. Today I fucked up by telling my kid I love you while on the phone. So I was on the phone with an old female friend of mine that her and I have randomly kept in contact with over the years. We have known each other for close to 30 years but never been involved with each other romantically. I personally have never really considered it. She is coming into town tomorrow and called me to see if we could hang out and go see a mutual friend. So that is where the incident took place. I can't remember exactly how the lead up happened, but I feel like I was saying something along the lines of "I'm looking forward to seeing you and hanging out," then a brief pause, stopped to let the kid out, then I just said "I love you." She was unaware my kid was in the car at all. I hear her gasp and then she instantly says "I love you too," then goes into this 2 minutes how much she has always loved me. Oh shit, I felt like I couldn't find a good time to just be like I was just saying that to my kid, and then I got into deep. She has been texting me like crazy and I haven't said I wasn't talking to her yet. Oh fuck, I think this could really be bad. I know I need to rip the band-aid. I do really like this girl and honestly we have a ton in common and get along great. I actually have just never really thought about a romantic relationship. I think I'm afraid if I say it was a mistake she will be jaded and that'll be it. But if I don't say anything and we get together I'll end up spilling the beans about it anyway, and that will mess it up. FML, I guess if people are interested I'll update after tomorrow. TL Drive. Told my kid I love you while on the phone with a childhood friend. She said she loved me back. And now I can't bring myself to say it was a mistake and I'm in too deep. Afraid I'll lose her as a friend no matter what I do. Little update, I'm gonna go with it. We're gonna go hang out, meet some friends, and then I'm gonna make dinner at my place. Wish me luck. Next update I'll tell you how it went. Update 2. Post date and probably last update. So first of all, thank you to everyone for the support. I wanted to quickly answer a few common questions. We're both single and yes, I'm divorced. 6 years in December. Do work at a zoo. We all graduated together in the same class, including X who is friends with her. I am a guy. To the people saying why did you not see the signs? I'm a dumb man and unless you tell me something I seem to have a hard time picking up on subtle hints. So now the juicy stuff. It went great. I did tell her about how this all went down. She loved it. She thought it was hilarious. I then proceeded to say that I was an idiot for not ever telling her that she has always been such an incredibly wonderful person in my life and that I would be crazy not to have her be a part of my life moving forward. It went well. We're going to go see some friends later, and yes, I'm still planning on having her over tonight. So basically our last names are very similar and we sat next to each other basically since 2nd grade. Even rode the bus together till we could drive, and I even drove her when I got my license first. I had been in a relationship with the ex throughout high school, so I never perused other women. I'm more than happy at how things have worked out. TL Drive. Thought I fucked up and told an old friend accidentally that I love them. I freaked out, turned out r/Tyor. And that's how I met your mother. And that's how I met your stepmother. Oh yes. Update, please. No pop, today you accidentally won. It's only a fuck up if you fuck it up from here. We say we love everything in English. I love chips. I love tacos. I love Friday nights. I love lamp. Today I fucked up by wearing my collar in front of my colleagues. This was yesterday, but I've only just figured out a way to redeem myself. Long story short, I had a strict Catholic upbringing, knew nothing about the big S until I met my current partner, and I'm still fairly clueless. He introduced me to BDSM and, well, turns out it's fun. We have a large leather collar that I wear from time to time at home. In a way it's a sort of comfort thing to me at times, although I'm not sure why. And I've a smaller version that I wear out and about as a vestige of my goth teen days, and because I like the fashion style of it all. I'll go full out some days, tartan skull skirt, ripped shirt, kitten heels, dragon earrings, dark makeup. It's the only way I feel confident in myself, as dumb as it sounds. Anyway, getting back on track. I was wearing the chunky one yesterday whilst doing some stuff around the house, and my friend/colleague knocked on the door. She wanted to introduce me to my new colleague who would be starting from next week. We all teach at the same place in the weekend. They have a full-time tutoring business outside of there too. I was taking to them for several minutes, even ran upstairs to grab our cat as she loves my fur babies, and then invited them inside. I was talking to them for 20 minutes before I realized what I was wearing, popped upstairs to take it off under the pretext of telling my partner who was here, and silently died. Neither of them mentioned it and they were here for more than an hour. But I'm doing lesson planning with them on Wednesday and I'm still mortified. I'm going to dress myself as gothy as possible with my small choker, in the hopes of tricking them into thinking that's what I was wearing the whole time. TL, doctor, please pray for me. I wore BDSM gear in front of my colleague/friend when she popped over to introduce me to my new colleague. Strict Catholic upbringing has me petrified of humiliation. Okay, was fixed. Automod didn't like it, and as this has actually taken off, I've done a proper too long didn't read. Some people are calling fake, but there's a picture somewhere in the comments of my collar. I'll put it here when I'm back home after work today. Edit 2 cat tax. Edit 3, this community is wonderful. Thank you so much for the reassurance. Edit 4, the questioned object. It may not look like much, but it's remarkably chunky, and as I mentioned I was brought up to be a good Catholic girl. It's very embarrassing on my behalf, and I'm genuinely afraid of being called out about wearing it. If my mother found out, she'd have a heart attack. As someone wheezes into BDSM, I have those moments where I notice someone wearing a collar and wonder. However, I wouldn't go so far to say they think anything past it other than spunky fashion choice. I once complimented a friend on his super wide leather bracelet. He was like, thanks. It's actually a cock ring. No lie, it was pretty stylish and he gave me a good laugh. This girl in my class wears a collar every day. She thinks it's a choker. Edit, for the people saying she knows and they always seem innocent, this girl is 13 and freaks out at anything mildly sexual. Edit 2, today was the first day she hasn't worn it since she got it. She wants you to think she thinks it's a choker. I mean, as long as it didn't say daddy in big glitzy letters, I think you're safe. If it makes you feel any better, odds are they won't know what it means unless they're already familiar with the scene, in which case, they probably aren't going to judge. People still drop by without texting or calling first, for a work thing, no less.